Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Let's be real clear about why we're here having this debate on this non-issue tonight. It's because the Lieutenant Governor said we needed to have it. I know a lot of you have seen this information. You've seen it all session long and even before session, because this issue has consumed, it seems like, our political discourse in this state. And in spite of all the other challenges, all the other problems that we have to address in our brief 140-day session where we meet once every 2 years, we've been talking about bathrooms all session long. A lot of you have seen this, but it bears repeating. It's from a recent letter from May 17th from the Metro 8 chambers, the largest chambers in the state. This is signed by the president and CEOs of the Greater Houston Partnership, the Austin Chamber of Commerce, the Arlington Chamber of Commerce, the United Corpus Christi Chamber of Commerce, the Dallas Regional Chamber, the El Paso Chamber of Commerce, the Fort Worth Chamber of Commerce, and the San Antonio Chamber of Commerce. They wrote in part, I won't read the whole thing, Texas is best served by policies that portray our state as a welcoming, open place to live and do business. The Metro 8 Chambers of Commerce are dedicated to promoting Texas, and we have heard firsthand from potential investors that any attempt to regulate bathroom usage will have a negative impact on the state's reputation. Studies have shown that passage of bathroom legislation could cost Texas almost $3.3 billion per year, with a high probability of the cost increasing even further in future years. Workforce talent recruitment will also be limited by any bathroom restrictions. Texas cannot afford such legislation. You've heard a lot of reasons from my colleagues already this evening, Representatives Moody, Representative Israel, why we should oppose this bill on moral grounds, on why it's right to oppose this amendment for what the harm it would do to young people in our state. Perhaps those economic reasons might persuade some of you who aren't persuaded by those arguments. But the real reasons, the most important reason to oppose this amendment is the fact that it singles out a group of young Texans in a way they don't deserve to be, the way no one deserves to be singled out. And you've heard some of these numbers tonight, but they're significant and they bear repeating. There's over 150,000 transgender youth in the United States. We're a big state, so a lot of those young people are Texans. 75% of transgender students felt unsafe at school because of their gender expression. Think about that. Kids feeling unsafe at school because of who they are. 70% of transgender students said they avoided bathrooms because they felt unsafe or comfortable. 60% have been required to use a bathroom or locker room that did not match the gender they live every day. There was a study done last year by the Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center. And they said in their study, 30% of transgender youth report a history of at least one suicide attempt. Think about that, members. 1/3 of these kids have attempted to kill themselves. And nearly 42% report a history of self-injury, such as cutting themselves. Nearly half have hurt themselves. Our study, it says, provides further evidence for the at-risk nature of transgender youth and emphasizes that mental health providers and physicians working with this population need to be aware of these challenges. Dissatisfaction with one's appearance and the drive to look different from one's sex assigned at birth is central to gender dysphoria, the feeling that your gender identity is different from that at birth. Members, these kids, they need our love, they need our support. They need us to be leaders who care about protecting them. They don't need us to pass laws aimed at singling them out and further stigmatizing them.